What did you have for breakfast this morning? Or lunch or dinner? What have you eaten depending on where you're watching from? This was the fastest spaghetti I made because I used different leftovers. I used leftover vegetables, I used leftover stew. That thing is not even stew, sauce. The leftover. I just poured everything. I came back from school yesterday. I was so hungry and I couldn't think of. I was craving beans, which I'm going to make after now. But there was no time to wait for beans to dawn. There's something I saw online and I wanted to talk about it. I don't know if I've seen anybody doing content and eating before. So I don't know how this my own will look like. But the thing that made me to stop doing content first time was because I was always wanting it to be perfect, the right time, the right this. I'm doing that again with editing. But because right now I have a couple of content that I have not put out. I was supposed to put out at least once a week. Last week has passed and I have not put it out. See, my issue in life is consistency. Anyway. Did this my eating make you salivate? All right, let's get into the heart of the matter. Imagine watching somebody eat for this long and then the person now says that that's not the main video. I mean, who needs any video for you to come and watch them eat? Of course, that's not the main video. Welcome back to my channel, guys. Thank you for sticking around. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for liking it, like all the good stuff you've been doing. Thank you. I appreciate it, and that is why I'm back today again. So I was never really thinking I was going to be doing before you come to the abroad kind of video. I think it's saturated. I feel like everybody that just crosses over just begins to say things that people should do and not do. However, when the need arises for people to air their views, especially in something that I believe strongly on, I don't know how to not share my views. I know how to not share my views, but this particular one I want to share because it is something that was quite important to me and is still very important to me on this journey. So somebody put out something, not somebody, so on Instablog, there was this post about a lady who was arrested because she lied that her husband was raping her. Now, one thing I've noticed, so because she wants to remove the guy and live alone in the UK with her children and then put the man into trouble, right? So one thing that I've noticed recently, I don't know if another person has noticed, and I don't know if we're going to be truthful about it as women, is that we have learned not to take responsibility when things go wrong in our marriages. Because the men have been quite vilified, and yeah, they are not even innocent of all the allegations or all the things we see that they do. They are not innocent of it. Most of them, most men, of course, not every man. Not every man. I'd never generalize. So, because I have good men and no good men who do not do these things that we catch other men doing. I know them. They are plenty. However, I've noticed that when things happen, when a woman complains about a man, we are quick to judge the man. We don't want to hear from the man's point of view. It's the trend that has been going on for so long on social media. We don't hold any woman accountable. We don't want to ask questions. Excuse me. It started with us not asking questions when the woman talks about being abused and you say, no, you cannot ask her what she did because there's no excuse for hitting a woman, and I agree. However, this narrative has now eaten deep into other parts of our lives in our relationship, especially in marriage. Like, you don't ask a woman, what did you do, or how did you get here, or you don't even hold her accountable, or you don't hear from the man. Once a woman complains, we take everything she says, hook, line, and sinker, and then we make the man the villain. Even in this case, when you read on social media, when you read on Insta blog, some people are still saying, "Oh, that the man is lying and all," and nobody is acting that men are just always looking for reasons to make women look bad. But that's not the truth. That's not the case. Men have always been painted bad. We have always been the saints. That's the truth. If not for this whole DNA issues that began last year, last 2 years, women have always been the victim and men have always been the villain in the story. So I don't even know where that part is coming from, but that's not even what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about here, or what drew my attention, is the fact that coming to a system that works, coming to a system that looks like it favors the woman over the man, will make you know who you married. Mm. It will make you know who you married. And this was something that I was very conscious of when we started our trip, our plans to travel. The very first time we were to do this thing, I was to go alone to another country and all, and then he will be coming and be going and all. But it didn't work out that way, and I believe that God didn't want us to live that kind of to build that kind of family or have that kind of marriage. So it was then there was no opportunity for us to go together. I'm looking for that. That's why I'm looking at my screen because I'm looking for that message. I think I screenshot it or maybe I saved it somewhere. I don't even know again. I cannot find it. Let me quickly find it. Yeah, so this is the story. It said that a man brought his wife and 3 children to the UK as dependents. The wife got here and became very uncomfortable. Sorry, very uncooperative. She became very unruly, hid her money, and called the police on her husband. The man was shocked, da 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 da. And the reason why the policeman got interested was because the man was crying at the police station. And then they now checked her phone. She said that the husband had been raping her and abusing her for 12 years. That's throughout the marriage. And then the husband, who is a professional, cried. Then he decided to take over and investigate the case as a policeman. And then he took over the wife. He took the wife's mobile phone and discovered that people had been texting the wife about what to say to the police to get the right to live in the UK with her children without her husband and put the man in trouble. This person that posted this thing is, I think, this daily guy. He talks about migration and I think he's a lawyer or something. I'm not too sure, but I think I've seen his post a lot about migration stuff, and I feel like he knows what he's saying. Before we moved, I became very conscious of this thing. I don't have any problems in my marriage, like relationship, the relationship between me and my husband. We have problems that married couples face together, but we don't have problems personally. We have things that we are not. We have our strengths, our weaknesses, and all. We get what I mean. Like we know they suspect each other. We trust each other. We did this whole movement together. We planned together. We put our resources together. We did everything together. Now, I became very conscious of the fact that because I've been seeing a lot on social media, on Facebook. There's this lady that I see her post a lot. She's been here for a while, and in fact, far be it from her to post any positive thing about marriages and men. When she's posting about immigration problems and all, status and all, she's always talking about people that are having issues. And you need to see how they talk about men in this thing. Like there's this angel who is married to this demon. And then I'm not saying that there are not people like that, but then this is the case all the time. And it's not true, it's not possible. So I had seen this kind of post where it looks like the woman comes and everybody say, "Oh, you have the law. Oh, the system is working. Oh, kick him out. Oh, do this. Oh, do that." Like there's something going on here that they're not telling us. These are women, or these are couple who did not really have purpose and intentionality in getting together, and then they come here because a marriage that is working. I don't believe that a marriage that is working, you don't have issues. You're not suspecting each other. You have trust. You work as a team. That Obodo will make you people to start having issues that were never there. I don't believe it. Because you people make it look like abroad, everybody's divorced, nobody want marry, nobody want family. Now lie. I see a lot of families. I see on Sundays when you come out, you see couples, white people, people from different ethnicity and race who are not black. and they are bonding with their families. They are doing like people make it look like Onyawola not here actually family. It's not true. Now that is by the corner. So I got very interested in this thing, and we talked about it. You know, so I think that couples should talk about the mental stress that they are going to face when they relocate, the emotional stress, the pressure that can come from being in a system that works. Pressure of work, everybody has to be on their toes. Pressure of people having to adjust to the lifestyle here, where the man has to work, the woman has to work, the man will not have to, help out in chores and all. Like, the system here makes it look like everybody has to do the same thing, everybody has to overlap. Everything is a bit different from what you have in Nigeria. So we talked about it because I became very conscious of it. I'm a bold woman. I'm um I'm a very assertive person, and I'm married to somebody who is also bold and assertive. So you can almost say that two alpha whatever are married together. So we know what thing we want. Everybody know what the other person they do. We can easily call out each other when we're not doing well, and also we talked about it. I said these are the things that can happen. How are we going to tackle it? For like 3 months, as we're planning to travel, we're talking about it because the relationship is important to two of us. The marriage is important to two of us. And we talked about it. We became aware because there's something that self-awareness does to you. You become aware that these things are possible. You are honest to each other. Say, this thing is possible, this thing is possible. Okay, when it comes up, if it comes up, how do we tackle it? You can be like this, I can be like this. You can do this, I can do this. So if we find ourselves in this situation, what do we do? How do we even prevent not finding ourselves in any kind of position that begin to make us to talk rubbish? We talked about it. So as you are gathering money, trying to do all the things you're supposed to do to get your passage into that country of choice that is Western, you're leaving your country, that you already have these values, you already have this way that you walk, you already have this pattern of life, you have this culture that is going to be totally different from the culture or the norm of where you're going to. You need to talk. Except that marriage is not important to you. Except you marry that man or that woman just to settle down. It's not the same. Marrying to be married and married to settle down is not the same. I'll talk about it on another time. All the same thing. Except you marry that person just to get out of singlehood, and then you now come to a developed country, and then you now believe that, oh, you don't want that man again. You don't use and get with you in the fire. You don't come up for singlehood. You don't born children. All those kind of things. I don't know. But what I'm just trying to say is that there are things that couples need to talk about, especially when it comes to their relationship. Your relationship as husband and wife, as man and woman, is very important that you look into it. You discuss the obvious things that could happen. You tackle those your um, personal differences or those your weaknesses that could come up, that can become a problem when you are in another setting, and you accept it and you are aware of it and you work on it as husband and wife, because it's not the country or the system that is working that is making marriages fail. It is your bad character or his bad character or your inability to your lack of emotional intelligence, or your inability to adjust or to not do copy and follow that will make you come to another country, and that marriage that was your rock, or that marriage that was your source of pride in Nigeria, will now become what you are rubbishing in another country. This is what I came to talk about. As you are planning to JAPA, talk about your marriage. Know if that person that you are coming, the person you married. Ask yourself, can we cope in another country with this our character? Will our marriage survive it? And if you like that marriage, you want to, it's better you just stay in Nigeria where your marriage is working, where your bad character or your insecurities or your what's that word? Um, oh God, what's that word? It's not even frivolities. Your hey English excesses can be condoned. That's the word I was looking for. Better you remain there. Nobody don't die for Nigeria. Do you understand? So you can as well just stay there. Tell yourself the truth. Be aware. Be aware of who you are. Be aware of who you are married to. And know if your family will survive the adjustments or the adjustment that comes with moving to abroad. So I know, like when I come here in this YouTube, I used to always be, but these are the kind of things that I share on Facebook. I write on Facebook. I really not do videos, but I've now noticed that like talking about this thing is easier than typing it because, of course, my message will be clearer, and then I'll be able to, we'll be able to understand ourselves. So, what do you think about this matter? Because I'm sure all of us saw it on Instablog. What do you think about the matter? I'm not here to do gender war. I'm taking it as it is. If tomorrow another news comes out and says, oh no, the man lied though, the woman has been abused, they would face it that way. But for today, since yesterday, what we saw was that a particular man was being framed for being abusive and raping his wife for 12 years because the woman does not want to be with the man again because she don't come abroad. She just wants to share her children. And what's even this selfishness about women and their children? The children is not only our own now. The men are part of. So why would you want to? This is another topic for another day. Anyway, so what do you think about this case? Because I've said my bit. Know what you're doing and be sure that your marriage can survive abroad. That's my message for today. Your marriage cannot survive abroad, and you like that marriage and you love that person, or at least you are enjoying whatever perks you are gaining from the relationship, then just stay where you are or deal with yourself. Become aware and tackle that thing that can make you disappoint or shock your spouse. Please like, comment, share, and come back again and let me know if there's another matter you want us to talk about. And let me also know what you think in the comment section. It's very, very important to me. All right, bye. See you in my next video. Mwah.